Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Unitek Mini Bluetooth speaker. This is the YB101 and it sells on Amazon for sub $15, making it one of the most affordable Bluetooth speakers that you can pick up available. And it's also pretty good in terms of construction quality. It's made out of aluminum and it's a mono speaker, not a stereo speaker, but it gets fairly loud and comes in a number of colors. Good potential gift, also a good option for this upcoming summer season if you're taking it to pools and parties and the like. So taking a quick look at the box here, this is what it looks like. There is a microphone, so you can use it to answer phone calls as well. A very modern design in its lines and forms. It does also have a micro SD card support, so you can pop in a card that's loaded with your favorite tunes, and it acts as an MP3 player without the need to connect to another phone or computer source. It has CNC for noise cancellation as well, and you can see that it has a 400 milliamp hour capacity battery, which will charge up in under 2 hours and will last for up to 3.5 hours of continuous audio playback. This number is a little low, but this is a very portable speaker, so some of those flaws are reduced in essence. But again, a lot of competitors and regular sized Bluetooth speakers can last to 6 to 8 hours on a single go. So this is a little low if you are traveling and you don't have access to power that regularly. That's something to keep in mind. The back here just features a simple QR code that you can scan to learn more about the company, and that's essentially it. Aside from the speaker itself, which we'll take a closer look at its design in a second, there's also the aforementioned micro USB cable included for charging, and there's also a quick start guide that labels the various functions and keys that's printed in black and white. There's also access to a quick thank you card and a social media pamphlet, so you can learn more about the company. Taking a look at the design, again, it does feel a lot more premium and expensive than it really is. It's made out of aluminum, and it's actually a quite sturdy one. You can kind of tap on it, and it feels substantial in the hand. It's not lightweight at all. The rim here is chamfered, so it makes for a pretty reflective, attractive look, and the top is also reinforced, so it doesn't ding or get damaged as easily on the speaker grills. On the bottom here, it is made partially out of plastic, but there's also a rubber feature that prevents it from sliding around on a surface or a desk when you sit it on a regular flat surface. On the sides, there's access to the aforementioned micro USB port for charging. There's also access to some dedicated controls, which correspond to the power on-off for manual power adjustment. There's also a microphone, again, used for both noise cancellation in addition for speakerphone calls when you have it linked to a phone. There's also the aforementioned micro USB port for popping in a card loaded with music directly. And finally, we have a few adjustments for things such as volume. You can play pause your music by tapping on the center here, and also tap and hold in order to turn the entire unit on and to hold for a few seconds more to start the pairing process. Now, although these keys themselves are pretty tactile, responsive, and easy to press, their location is definitely not ideal. It's at the very base of the speaker, and overall, when you set it down, it's almost impossible to reach and touch. I almost wish that they would have sacrificed some of this really beautiful design by placing some of the controls on the sides or on the top, just to make it a bit more easy to use, because right now the controls are very, very small. This is one of the smallest control sets that I've seen in any speaker design. So let's turn it on and do a quick sample of what the audio experience is. All right, so it's been paired, and there are a few blue LEDs in the base of the speaker, which adds a pretty cool glowing effect, kind of bleeds out from the edges here when you are in the dark, and that's perhaps one of the considerations for elevating the bass and not making it completely flush, and hence the reasons why the keys are so cramped and tiny. But I still think I would have preferred, having larger keys than having this blue LED that gives you a status info. But let's play the song. All right, so hopefully that gave you guys a good idea of what the audio experience is like on the speaker. And I have to say, I'm fairly impressed for the size and the price of this thing. The thing that strikes me is that there's actually a bit of bass in the background. I was surprised by that. I expect it to be quite tinny as you get to lower frequencies, but it does have a thump and it vibrates really quite vigorously when you hit some bass drops, for instance, in some electronic music. So definitely good enough for some party situations, for some quick road trips that you might want to take it with you. For pop music, electronic music, you're not going to have any issues. If I turn the volume all the way down and listen super closely, there is a slight amount of static and distortion, but it's really not anything that's too significant and fairly normal for wireless speakers in general. This is no exception. And as far as the microphone quality for speakerphone quals is concerned, it works, but it's not super ideal just because the placement is so close to the base that it kind of echoes when you're talking. It's also not noise canceling. So in outdoor environments, it doesn't work as well. Okay for conference calls indoors when you have it at a decently elevated position, but not the forte of the speaker. Otherwise, again, it is a mono speaker, so not the best if you want three-dimensional sound in terms of movies and more complicated, more precise. If you're an audiophile, definitely not the best option. But again, the price point should suggest otherwise in the first place. And I think that for this price, it really is solid in both the construction as well as the sound. It's slightly let down by, I think, a little quirky of a design choice of putting the button so close to the base, but otherwise, the sound, the value, everything does make sense here. You can check out more details in our official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the Unitek YB101 wireless Bluetooth